Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark?
Somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine.
Stephen A. Smith recently made major headlines after comparing Caitlin Clark to NBA superstar Steph Curry, suggesting that her talent and range are so extraordinary that
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm because of your shooting prowess.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm still kind of in a dream, in a real world. I mean, it's kind of crazy, obviously. Those are the players I kind of grew up watching. Obviously, Steph Curry's kind of changed the game, and he's a player I grew up loving. I still love. I watch him all the time. So it's kind of crazy seeing all those NBA players, WNBA players tweet about you, talk about you. But, you know, I still enjoy every single second of it for sure.
That she could legitimately score in an NBA game. Smith praised her exceptional shooting ability and remarkable ball handling skills, emphasizing that he has never seen any woman in college basketball shoot the ball the way Caitlin Clark does. His admiration was echoed by NBA legend Paul Pierce, who also showered Clark with praise, describing her NCAA performance as the best he had ever witnessed, regardless of gender. These bold statements underscore just how impactful Clark has been in the world of women's college basketball, redefining expectations and changing perceptions about the sport. Pierce elaborated on his comments by pointing out that Clark's dominance wasn't achieved against average competition. He noted that she performed at her peak against the defending champions from LSU, a team known for its toughness and defensive grit. He remarked that seeing a white girl from Iowa dominate a team full of dogs who were defending champs was what truly earned his respect. Though his phrasing drew criticism, Pierce made it clear that his admiration came from Clark's ability to rise above expectations and perform at the highest level against elite talent. As Caitlin Clark continues to shatter records and raise the standard for women's basketball, several NBA legends have also stepped forward to celebrate her greatness. Shaquille O'Neal took things even further by naming Clark the greatest female collegiate basketball player of all time. Meanwhile, Kevin Garnett, who is typically careful with his praise, spoke highly of Clark's athleticism and conditioning. On his podcast, Ticket and Truth, Garnett highlighted her fitness and shooting precision, saying, "If you're not in Steph Curry's level of shape, that's how she plays. You can't help but watch when she's on the floor of the range. The confidence, the flair, she's a performer, and her game is the total package." Garnett even went as far as to claim that Clark could easily score over 10 points in an NBA game. His remarks illustrate how Caitlin Clark's rise has helped elevate the visibility and credibility of women's basketball. Garnett further emphasized that it's the first time in history that women's basketball has arguably become more captivating than the men's game, pointing out that her fitness, skill, and flair make her stand out even among professional athletes. Still, he acknowledged the physical differences between the NBA and WNBA, noting that while the men's game may be more athletic, Clark's precision shooting and work ethic would still make her competitive. This wave of high praise from some of the NBA's biggest legends has sparked an ongoing discussion about the legitimacy of such comparisons. Some skeptics have questioned whether Clark's records hold the same weight as those set by previous generations of players. Others, like LeBron James, have defended her impact, urging fans, especially women in the league, not to be petty or jealous. LeBron stressed that Caitlin's success is benefiting everyone, bringing more visibility, sponsorships, and private charters to the WNBA. He bluntly told critics that instead of resenting her, they should be thanking her for elevating the entire league. Despite the occasional backlash, Caitlin Clark has earned some of the most prestigious accolades any college player could achieve. Her dominance on the court and her ability to draw massive audiences have made her one of the most influential athletes in basketball today. After becoming the first Indiana Fever player in franchise history to record a triple-double, Clark solidified her growing legacy as both a record breaker and a trailblazer for future generations. The comparisons to Steph Curry have only amplified her legend, inspiring countless young players to follow in her footsteps. Paul Pierce's admiration reached new heights following Clark's iconic 41-point performance in Iowa's victory over LSU. He called it the greatest performance I've ever seen in an NCAA tournament, regardless of gender. However, Pierce's racial commentary describing Clark as a white girl from Iowa, dominating a team of black girls from LSU, sparked heated debates about race and perception in sports. While his intent may have been to highlight Clark's competitiveness, his phrasing drew criticism and reignited discussions about racial narratives in athletic commentary. Adding to the conversation, some analysts argued that the discourse surrounding Clark isn't only about race, but also about sexuality and representation. They claimed that part of the tension arises because Caitlin Clark, a straight white woman, is excelling in a league often celebrated for its LGBTQ+ and black representation. This, they suggested, has created complicated dynamics regarding attention, marketability, and public support. Regardless, Pierce's enthusiasm underscored his respect for Clark's skill and competitive fire, while also shedding light on broader cultural discussions within the sport. NBA icon Allen Iverson also added his voice to the growing list of supporters, praising Clark's incredible scoring ability and court awareness. "Man, she shoots the blood out of the ball," Iverson said, adding that she deserves to be mentioned among the greatest of all time, including legends like Cheryl Miller, Cheryl Swoops, and Candace Parker. Iverson called her the Steph Curry of women's basketball and even compared her cultural impact to his own, saying that she's changing the game just like he once did. His acknowledgement carries weight, not just because of his own legendary career, but because it highlights how Clark's playstyle is transcending gender lines and inspiring players across all levels. Shaquille O'Neal's endorsement of Clark as the best female collegiate player ever has arguably been the most influential. On an episode of Inside the NBA, Shaq boldly stated, "I'm going on record saying she's the best female college player ever." Though his co-hosts Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith countered by mentioning other greats like Maya Moore and Diana Taurasi, Shaq stood firm, saying, "I said what I said, no disrespect to anyone else, but that's my opinion." Given Shaq's stature in the game, his declaration carried immense weight and solidified Caitlin Clark's standing as a generational talent. Clark's resume backs up the praise. She's dominated the Big Ten for 4 consecutive seasons, leading in both scoring and assists, and recently broke the NCAA all-time scoring record with a signature deep three-pointer against Michigan. Her performance has brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball, creating packed arenas and record-breaking television ratings. In Indiana, her presence has transformed downtown Indianapolis. On game days, fans proudly wear her number 22 jersey everywhere, symbolizing the feverish excitement she's brought to the franchise. During her historic triple-double game against the New York Liberty, Clark electrified the crowd and made history not just for herself, but for her team as well. Fans described the experience as surreal, with many expressing how emotional it was to witness such a groundbreaking moment in person. Her success has helped re-energize the Fever, who are fighting for a playoff spot for the first time in years under Coach Christie's sides. Despite being a rookie, Clark leads all newcomers in both points and assists, and her name continues to dominate MVP and Rookie of the Year discussions. Still, her rookie season hasn't been without challenges. Reports of tension between Clark and Coach sides surfaced after a game against the Chicago Sky, where Clark appeared to ignore coaching directions. Critics have questioned some of side's strategic decisions, such as her timeout management and questionable lineups, which many feel have hindered the team's progress. Fans have also voiced frustration over the team's unconventional team-building exercises, including a pre-practice scavenger hunt, arguing that professional athletes should prioritize film study, conditioning, and strategy over college-style bonding games. Analysts believe these lighthearted activities reflect a lack of focus in a team that should be preparing for serious playoff contention. With star players like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell on the roster, many feel the Fever should be dominating rather than struggling with basic execution. Legendary coaches like Phil Jackson, Gino Auriemma, and John Wooden built their teams through discipline and strategy, not games and scavenger hunts. And fans are beginning to question whether Coach Sides possesses that same level of professionalism. Despite these internal struggles, Caitlin Clark's influence continues to reshape the WNBA. Her arrival has sparked a new era of excitement and growth for the league, drawing massive audiences and inspiring corporate sponsors to invest more heavily. The buzz around her has even led to improved travel conditions for players, with teams receiving more chartered flights and better accommodations, something that was unheard of in previous years. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's rewriting its history. Her combination of elite skill, charisma, and marketability has turned her into one of the most influential athletes of her generation. Whether you love her or criticize her, there's no denying that she's changing the landscape of women's basketball forever. So, what do you think about all of this? Are the NBA legends right about Caitlin Clark's potential, and could she really hang in an NBA game? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.